It's week 33 of a year of wisdom. Let's get to reading. Day 229. Job 21 and 22. Then Job answered and said, "Listen carefully to my words and let this be your consolation. Bear with me, and I myself will speak. Then after my speaking you can mock. As for me, is my complaint for human beings? And if so, why cannot I be impatient? Turn to me and be appalled, and place your hand on your mouth. And when I think of it, I'm horrified, and shuddering seizes my flesh. Why do the wicked live, grow old, even grow mighty in power? With them, their offspring are established before them, and their descendants before their eyes. Their houses are safe without fear, and the rod of God is not upon them. His bull breeds and does not fail, his cow calves and does not miscarry. They send out their little ones like the flock, and their children dance around. They sing to the tambourine and lyre, and they rejoice to the sound of the long flute. They spend their days in prosperity, and in peace they go down to Sheol. And they say to God, 'Turn away from us, for we do not desire to know your ways.' Who is Shaddai that we should serve him? Or what would we benefit when we plead with him? Look, their prosperity is not in their hands. The schemes of the wicked are repugnant to me. How often is the lamp of the wicked put out, and their disaster comes upon them? He distributes pains in his anger. How often are they like straw before the wind, and like chaff that the storm carries away? God stores up his iniquity for his children? Then let him repay it to him, that he may know it. Let his eyes see his decay, and let him drink from the wrath of Shaddai. For what does he care for his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off? Can anyone teach knowledge to God, since he himself judges high ones? This one dies in full prosperity, completely at ease and secure. His vats are full with milk, and the marrow of his bones is moist. Yet another dies with a bitter inner self, and he has not tasted prosperity. They lie down together in the dust, and maggots cover them. Look, I know your thoughts and the schemes you devise against me. For you say, 'Where is the nobleman's house, and where are the tents in which the wicked dwell?' Do you not ask those traveling the roads, and do you not take notice of their accounts? Indeed, the wicked is spared from the day of disaster. He's delivered from the day of wrath. Who denounces his way to his face? And who repays him for what he has done? When he is brought to the grave, then someone stands guard over his tomb. The clods of the valley are sweet to him. Everyone will follow after him, and before him they are innumerable. So how will you comfort with emptiness when fraud is left in your answers?" Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, "Can a man be of use to God? Yes, can the wise be of use to him? Is it a pleasure to Shaddai if you are righteous, or a gain if you make your ways blameless? Does he reprove you because of your reverence, or enter into judgment with you? Is not your wickedness great, and there is no end to your iniquities? Indeed, you have required a pledge from your family for nothing, and you've stripped off the clothes of the naked. You've given no water for the weary to drink, and you withheld food from the hungry. And the land belongs to the man of power, and the favored lives in it. You've sent widows away empty-handed, and the arms of orphans were crushed. Therefore, trapping nets are all around you, and panic suddenly terrifies you. Or is it so dark you cannot see, and a flood of water covers you? Is not God in the height of heavens? But see how lofty are the highest stars. And you ask, what does God know? Can he judge through deep gloom? Thick clouds are covering for him, so that he does not see, and he walks about on the dome of heaven. Will you keep to the way of old that the people of mischief have trod, who were snatched away before their time, whose foundation was washed away by a current? Those who said to God, 'Turn away from us, and what can Shaddai do to us?' Yet he himself filled up their houses with good things, but the schemes of the wicked are repugnant to me. The righteous see and they rejoice, but the innocent one mocks at them. Surely our foe perishes, and fire has consumed their remainder. Please reconcile yourself with him and be at peace. In this way good will come to you. Please receive instruction from his mouth and place his words in your heart. If you return to Shaddai, you will be restored. If you remove wickedness from your tent, and if you put gold ore in the dust, and the gold of Ophir in the rock of Wadis, then Shaddai will be your gold ore and your precious silver. Indeed, then you will delight yourself in Shaddai, and you will expect that God will be good to you. You will pray to him, and he will hear you, and you will pay your vows. And you will decide on a matter, and it will be established for you, and light will shine on your ways. When they are humiliated, you say, "It is pride," for he saves the humble. He will deliver the guilty, and he will escape because of the cleanness of your hands. Proverbs 17. Better a dry morsel and quiet with it than a house filled with feasts of strife. A slave who deals wisely will rule over a child who acts shamefully, and in the midst of brothers he will share his inheritance. A crucible is for the silver, and a furnace is for the gold, but Yahweh will test hearts. He who does evil listens to lips of wickedness, and the liar gives heed to the tongue of mischief. He who mocks the poor insults him who made him. He who rejoices at calamity will not go unpunished. The crown of the elderly are grandchildren, and the glory of children is their fathers. Fine speech is not becoming to a fool, still less is false speech for a ruler. The bribe is a stone of magic in the eyes of its owner. Everywhere he will turn, he will prosper. He who forgives an affront fosters love, but he who waits on a matter will alienate a friend. A rebuke strikes him who understands, deeper than 100 blows to a fool. An evil person will seek only rebellion, and a cruel messenger will be sent against him. May a man meet a she-bear robbed of offspring, and not a fool in his folly. For he who returns evil for good, evil will not depart from his house. Like the release of water is the beginning of strife. Before it breaks out, stop the quarrel. He who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the righteous, the two of them are both abominations of Yahweh. Why is this? A price in the hand of a fool in order to buy wisdom where there is no sense. The friend loves at all times, but a brother is born for adversity. A person who lacks sense pledges. He becomes security before his neighbor. He who loves transgression loves strife. He who builds his high thresholds seeks destruction. He who is crooked of heart will not find goodness, and he who is perverse, by his tongue he will fall into calamity. He who begets a fool, there is trouble for him. The father of a fool will not rejoice. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a downcast spirit will dry out bones. The wicked will accept a bribe from the lap in order to pervert the ways of justice. He who understands sets his face toward wisdom, but the eyes of a fool to the end of the earth. A grief to his father is the child of a fool, and bitterness to her who bore him. Also, imposing a fine on the righteous is not good, nor to flog nobles for uprightness. He who spares his sayings knows knowledge, and a cool spirit is a man of understanding. Even a fool who keeps silent shall be considered wise. He who closes his lips is intelligent. And as always, thank you so much for being here today. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there and click the bell if you want notifications. And if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button for me. And I will see you tomorrow. Maranatha.
I'm standing at the crossroads. I'm lost without a clue. I need a big pink neon sign to show me what to do. I thank you, Lord. It glorifies you when you're the only answer. I praise you, Lord, for withholding what's too much for me. And I'm amazed by you, Lord, because nothing's too big and nothing's too small to lay at your feet.